This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
It's so awkward when you meet someone on a dating app, right?
Go on.
No.
Finally. What's his name?
No, I'm holding
It's
on.
not Darren, is it?
I'm still holding on. Who's Darren?
You know that guy you met at... Oh, it doesn't matter.
Was
No,
he
it was
on a
Tro-
jet ski?
It was
He
Troy.
on a jet ski
I've
with his
never
top
met-
off?
He was on a
know.
jet ski. You the guy from Sans Souci you hooked up with.
Yeah,
What
Brighton
are you
Sands.
talking
Oh,
about?
Brighton Sands, was it?
Oh, don't do
Remember?
that.
You remember on the Sea-Doo?
He was a Mongol, remember? And you
Yes.
said, I can't do this anymore.
No, no. What I'm saying is, I
That'll be in
read
the Daily Mail.
exactly. You're making my life so hard.
Bikey love.
And the phone calls that then I have to field from other people,
Good.
like who's Darren?
All right.
I'm like, Darren doesn't exist. It's just for the radio.
It's
and they
playing. It's just play, guys. We're joking. His name wasn't Darren.
Likely story.
Was Steve-O.
Anyone?
I
I
know
mean,
he was a gypsy joker.
jet skis discuss. I actually think if you see someone on a jet ski on a dating app, not
Yeah.
that I know what you
Matt
do,
DeGroot, yeah.
but you swipe the opposite way.
Really?
Whatever that is.
swipe
Anyway, desperation, right? This girl, I just have to share this story. She's obviously linked up with somebody on a
Yep.
dating app. She's organised to have a date. I mean, that's what you do, apparently. That's what I read somewhere.
it.
I've never done it. He turns up. She doesn't really want to go on the date with him. So she gets desperate. I read this overnight. She then calls the police and makes out as though he's some kind of crazed stalker on the porch of her. I know. I mean, it's very extreme. So she's called the police, 911. This is in the US, and she's actually said a few things about him that are highly inappropriate. And I'm not
Right.
sure if I should say them, but
Say them.
basically she's saying he's out there, he's yelling and screaming, and maybe he might stab me and stuff like that. Like she's gone real
my
extreme.
gosh.
And the police have turned up to get rid of the date. I mean, she should have just opened the door and said, you know what? Now I feel really nervous. I don't want to go on the date.
Yeah.
But the police have turned up
you know
and they
what?
didn't find a crazed madman. They found a guy who I think hands in pocket was like,
Hi.
walking down the
And
street.
he would have had
With a
his
jet
hair
ski,
done.
on a jet ski.
He probably
Yeah,
had
on a jet
on a
ski.
jet ski. He probably had a beaded necklace on. He would have had
Shark's tooth, I
Yeah,
think.
shark tooth necklace. He would have had his favourite shirt on and tucked in and ironed. He would have been there maybe with a posy, and then all.
What's posies?
What is a posy?
It's a tiny. It's a cheap bunch of flowers.
Well, if he's got a beaded necklace on.
Let's be honest. But if you've peered out the door, out the window or the
Yeah.
side window, or maybe everyone's got those cams now, haven't they? So
Yep.
she's probably just hooked up to the camera and she's gone, oh no, he doesn't
Yeah, I
look
don't
like
want
it.
him.
He doesn't
Do you
look like
know-
the pictures. But what is it that's going to turn you off enough to call the police?
I need to call in a bomb threat here to get rid
I
of him.
know.
Do you know what you see a lot of on
extreme.
social media, and because of those Ring cameras, and they're really good, here's the date who comes to the door, and he's a bit nervous, and before he rings the doorbell, he passes wind. And then,
Is
yes,
there?
it's everywhere. It's about people that have farted on the Ring camera. That's why it's called the Ring
gosh.
camera.
See you around.
Oh,
Come
I'm
on.
missing out.
So
He's
Tag me on
farting
that.
when the door's about to open. Like, do it in the car.
well, what if it's an Uber? So, do you know what I mean? You get caught out. You've got a very small window between Uber and door if you need to let Smokey off the chain. So you've got to think about these things.
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.